Shaun and I, we just moved a few meters from the really big machine that we just spoke about before. And Shaun, that was business as usual. This is not business as usual,
No, this
right?
is not business as usual. This is really quite exciting. So here we are demonstrating for the first time ever a brand new ink technology. Now you'll go around the show everywhere and you'll see lots of printers printing really fast with lots of systems on it, looking really, really cool. But what is the common denominator about all those systems? It's the ink.
The ink, of course. And as you said to me just before, a lot of the people working in this industry are unfortunately used to having solvent-based inks, right?
Correct, solvent and UV and all kinds of stuff that over the years is not the nicest of things because we want ink to stick to various substrates, so it's quite difficult to do that.
And then you 8 years ago started digging into a new project called Actifuse now.
Yes.
Before we talk about the details of it, what was the reason for you to start that project?
One thing at Fujifilm, and specifically in the ink division, is that we're constantly having to develop inks around certification and conformity. As we move through the years, there's various chemicals and solvents that are banned or change certification, so we have to take those out of our inks. So part of the point is reformulating inks to match with European certification. That's an ongoing process.
So that means that, of course, you have people that needs to keep an eye on what is going on in Brussels or in Washington or
Yes.
in wherever it is, right?
We have a global compliance team.
Precisely, yeah. So you sometimes maybe sit down and say, okay, this will not be a viable solution in the future.
Absolutely.
We need to find something new, right?
Absolutely.
So were you involved in the project when it started, or what is your role in it now?
I've only been at Fuji for a couple of years. I wasn't involved in the project at the beginning. We have some very, very clever guys back in Tokyo that come up with this concept.
Yeah.
And this concept is a UV water-based ink.
Yeah.
So that sounds quite strange in its own kind of
It's
way.
like oil and water, right?
Absolutely difficult thing to mix.
Yeah.
So what we've done is we've managed to remove the solvents that traditionally would carry the pigment and the UV initiators and replace it with water. So that's kind of good for the environment and good for the people that use the product.
But let's say the questions around UV in general, of course, still remains. Is that something that you also in the future see that, okay, we need to address how photo initiators potentially can harm the environment and people? Or, I mean, I guess that the Fujifilm commitment to sustainability this is a first step, right? But It is definitely in that direction, right?
So what we've done, and we have a whole team that do this, they design the product and they design the components within the product to make them as friendly as they can be. There is always going to be limitations, but first step was to take away the solvent element, and then second step along the line will be to work on the way that photo initiators work.
Now you have it, and now you're showing
We're
it.
starting on that very, very exciting journey, yes.
So, I mean, one thing is, of course, the operator friendliness to their health. I was also thinking, having something that is water-based, does that also give you other advantages when it comes to speed with transportation and all those kind of things, or?
With water-based inks in general, they are kind of difficult to manage because you are dispersing the pigment in a water-based solution, and by its nature it doesn't like it. So as part of that process in developing this product, we came up with a brand new dispersion called RXD. RXD is a dispersion or a pigment that has 3 chemical reactions to make it very, very stable. So we could put it in a water-based fluid. So that was kind of the first process, but also along that you need to make sure it prints very, very well, it sticks to materials very, very well, and it has a good quality with a good image and color gamut. And I think we've achieved that here. We have a low, what's called low ink film, which means it's very, very thin.
Yeah.
So that allows you, when you're laminating traditional products, it doesn't have any silvering because the pile height is very low. Because of the way we've worked the dispersion, we can increase the loading of the pigment, which allows us to get a really, really good color gamut.
Because I noticed that just before, and now we can't see it so much, but there was this beautiful gamut where you basically, again, showed a little bit a fantastic design, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the other side is we can't lose the elements of what printers are looking for. They need media compatibility. With this product, because it is UV, we can print on a whole different range of materials. And also, because it's UV, it's immediately dry once it comes out the printer. There's no need for outgassing or waiting for it to cure or can calm down after it's printed. So it can be immediately used. It can be cut or laminated and immediately applied to whatever application it's designed for.
I can see that you have the passion for it. I was just wondering, Shaun, do you also see that this ink potentially can find its way into other Fujifilm products?
That's completely our intention. So when we start with an idea here, we're looking at the whole market. We know within our large format machines, the compliance element's going to change with all of those kind of traditional ink products. So we have to have behind the scenes new innovative technologies that we're developing. And this one is really quite special. So I think in years to come, and maybe at Drupa 2028, we might have some different machines to show with this exciting technology.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
Nice to speak to you.